Hey everybody, this is our First Baptist Church of McAllister Falls Creek meeting 2019. Just some rules to go over real quick. Our code of conduct. This is all provided by uh, OK Scopus, which is the student ministry page for the BGCO, the Baptist General Convention. And this is the rules that are set up by them for camp, and we'll also have some that we're going to do on our own here in a second. So, as you see here, general purpose code of conduct. You can read that there, but there at the bottom in the gray print, Falls Creek does not condone or encourage any activity on grounds that would humiliate any camper, including initiation, hazing, or pranks. That is always a go, whether it's in our cabin or somebody else's cabin. Modesty, PDA. We're going to make sure that we're keeping everything on the up and up, and as you can see there, believing that modesty extends beyond the dress code, Falls Creek asks that students refrain from PDA or public displays of affection. And we'll do our best to communicate that to the students. And I know that we shouldn't have any problem with that, but just in case, just so you know ahead of time. Curfew, pretty simple there. We're going to have everybody in the cabin by 10:15 to start our night events. And then 11:45, we have to make sure everybody's inside the cabin, and that includes sponsors as well. When it comes to cell phones, we'll skip vehicles there, but there won't be any students driving vehicles while we're down at camp. But cell phones, we actually have different times where we allow the students to have their phones, but during worship time, during our in-cabin quiet times, nighttime, we're not going to have access to those phones. We'll let them carry them at some points during the day just to contact them if we need to. But we want to make sure that cell phones are not the reason that we're there. We're not really focused on those. We need to make sure that we don't have any distractions there. And if we have any distractions, we'll talk to the student about that and make sure that everybody's good to go as far as that goes. The camp prohibits anybody leaving the grounds unless accompanied by a sponsor. If your student needs to leave, just make sure to check in with me, and then we'll have an idea of where everybody's going and when they'll be back if for some reason you need to take your student off campus for some reason. No bands or instrumental groups or music allowed outside the cabin walls. As far as the inside goes, we'll manage that on our own. We only have one or two people that are going to be helping out with worship and music and stuff like that. So we won't necessarily need anybody to bring their instruments. So headsets, headphones, wireless earbuds, all that can only be used inside the cabin, and those will only be at different times of the day. And if they're listening to music, it needs to be Christian music. I'll just kind of police that as best as I can, best as our sponsors can. Um, no sales at Falls Creek that are not done through Falls Creek or the office. No possession of illegal drugs, alcohol, tobacco. They're not permitted there on the ground. That includes e-cigarettes and families, all of that kind of stuff. We need to make sure we're keeping those off campus, and weapons, open flames, pets, animals, fireworks, rock throwing, water fighting, laser pointers, bim cream fights. We're not going to be doing that in the cabin or outside the cabin. So we need to make sure that people are following those rules. No masks, well, they can have skates and rollerblades and stuff like that, but they have to only use those at the skate park, and they have designated times for that, designated areas for that. No wading or swimming allowed in the creeks unless there is Falls Creek lifeguards on the site. So we need to make sure of that. And then no cameras, drones are going to be running around the camp either. Now, the dress code, always an important part of Falls Creek camp. We want to make sure that people are following that, and I'll pull up a screen here in a second that kind of shows a visualization of that. It also is attached with your form if you haven't got that yet. But we'll just run through there. General guideline: shoes must be worn at all times outside your cabin. Apparel may not display, promote tobacco, alcohol, controlled substances, or inappropriate language or pictures. Undergarments must always be covered. Sorry about the hammering going on outside of the office here, but undergarments must always be covered by outer garments. Midriff should always be covered. No spaghetti straps, dresses, shirts or dresses, no tank tops, no short shorts. At a minimum, shorts must extend to or just beyond the camper's fingertips. No tight fitting or revealing clothing. This includes leggings or similar attire which cannot be worn as pants. Girls may wear dresses, but they must reach the top of the knee. Then the girls and guys, they do have the opportunity to swim at different times, and it says girls should wear modest one-piece swimsuits. Males should not wear tight-fitting swimsuits. So you can read that there, and if you want to take a screenshot of any of this stuff here on this video after we get back from. So if you have any issues or questions, you can just let me know. So we do ask all of our students to be a part of camp atmosphere, whether they're going to be involved in pin trading or be involved with the recreation, volleyball, basketball, swimming time. We're not going to let our kids just hang out in the cabin during the free time. It's a time for us to go be involved with one another, build relationships, and just get the whole camp experience. So we want to make sure that you just relay that to your students, or if they're watching with you right now, that we're just making sure that everybody's on board, everybody's being a team player with what we're trying to do. And I think everything will be great if we can get everybody to do that. There will be times when we can relax and do kind of, do kind of some things like that. There's a day or two that we might do that, but for the most of the time, we're going to be going pretty good playing volleyball. There's a Gaga. There is different games they can play, kickball, softball, basketball, lots of different tournaments and stuff that the camp has going on. So we're really excited about that, and we'd love for your student to be a part of that. So I'm going to pull up just real quick on my laptop here. I'm going to pull up the theme nights for the week, and everyone's usually pretty excited about. Monday night, we're going to wear our camp shirts. We'll give those out probably during dinner time on Monday. We'll take our picture after dinner when we're going to go to the tabernacle. That's where it says picture night there. Tuesday, we're going to have date night. And this is always one that the kids really like, or at least we sponsors like. But date night is not what it sounds like, not what it seems like. It's not about student having their first date or something that's going to embarrass them, but it's something that we have the opportunity to show the students biblically, scripturally. Number one, how we should act as Christians, how we should treat women biblically, and how women should view themselves biblically. This is really a great time for our guys, the men of the cabin, to understand how precious women really are and how important they really are God, and how we should be treating them as men, and then also the view of how women should view themselves in light of Scripture and what God tells us. So it's really an opportunity for us to honor women and to lift them up and encourage them, but also set the bar high for the men as well. They get a random date of a draw. They won't know who is their date until they're walking down the stairs. And the guy's job is to serve them and get them their food, get them their drink, get them the refill, walk them back to the stairs when the meal is over. If you have any questions about that or concerns, you can just let me know, and I can try to explain that a little bit better. If you have specific questions, I'd love to answer those for you. Wednesday night, we have our parent night. You're welcome to come anytime you want to see your student, but if you want to come when other parents are coming, Wednesday's usually a great night for that, and we have dinner for you guys to come. So we would love for you to check in with your student about the time you want to come. Let us know, and we'll try to work all that out. We also have Hawaiian night, and we'll celebrate our birthdays that night too. So Hawaiian night, we're just wearing some Hawaiian gear and clothes. I'll have a lot of extras for stuff like this, so don't feel like you have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff. Thursday, USA night, red, white, and blue night during the senior night. They will sometimes they do some fireworks down there during the senior week, which will be July 4th week. But we'll see this year. I'm not sure what they have planned for that day on July 4th. But we'll wear red, white, and blue. Friday during the week, we're going to have an opportunity to design our own shirts, and we're going to wear those on Friday night. Both groups will wear those. So, like I said again, there on the note, I'll have plenty of extra stuff, so don't feel like you have to go and buy a bunch of things. Don't worry about that, please. So, at this time, I'm gonna just pull up. I don't know if I have the rules on this part here. Again, sorry about the camera next to me here, but we'll just pull up this image while I'm talking over. this. Here's the dress code. And this kind of shows you what's acceptable in green, what's not acceptable in the orange. So this would be good. Down here, you can see the unacceptable stuff right here as well. So if you want to go through and look at that and just go over that with your camper, see what's acceptable, I would really appreciate that. And most of the students know this, but if you're new with us this year, we're excited about you going with us or your child going with us. We're really pumped about that. But we do want to make sure everybody is following the dress code and what is acceptable here because um, Falls Creek staff will be monitoring this as well, and they'll send them back to the cabin if there's any issues that's going along with that. So I appreciate you guys looking over that as well. So I'm just going to pull up, let's see if I can just pull up an image of the camp here. Again, sorry about the hammering that's going on over here. We'll just pull up this while I'm going over these rules. I don't have these on the computer there, but I do want to just show you guys and go over with you guys our specific rules. We talked about no pranks will be tolerated. Student camp volunteers are to be respected. Falls Creek staff, cabin sponsors are to be respected as well, listened to, and defiance of sponsors will not be tolerated. Again, the dress code will be strictly enforced by myself, our staff, sponsors, and camp staff. And there's not going to be any rough housing, potentially aggressive, dangerous activity in or out of the cabin. No cell phones will be used whenever we ask them to put those away, and we will let them have them during free time or times that we discern are good times to do that. We talked about the headphones and the Christian music. If they're going to listen to music in the cabin, they must wear their headphones. And we kind of do a two-strike policy. If your student is not following one of the rules, we'll just talk to them and ask them about it. If they violate it again, we will talk with them again, but also talk to you and then have you talk to them. And on the third strike, we will ask you to come get your student. We don't want to send any of our sponsors all the way back to McAlester, wherever you may live. So on that third strike, you'll have to come get your student. And we don't want to have to do that. So hopefully nobody gets any strikes, but they do get basically two chances there to adhere to the rules and make sure they're doing what's right. We do want to focus on uh, camp safety. So if your student is walking around and they have friends that are from another cabin, we're going to ask, and one of our rules is that our students will not enter anyone else's cabin, just for safety precautions and different things that we're going through and the camp's going through. Like, we want to make sure everything is safe, everything is above board. We're not going to anybody else's cabin. So I would appreciate, sorry about the hammering again. So I would appreciate everyone staying out in the open and always having a buddy. So we'd really appreciate that. Other than that, there's not a lot. If you haven't turned your forms in, we would love to have those as soon as possible. We ordered the shirts today. We had to guess on some sizes, so hopefully we can but we ordered extras, so we should be good as far as the shirts go. If you have any questions about this or you need anything, you can contact me, and I'll put my email up on here for you so that you can see that. And I'll just actually type it into to this bar right here so you can see it. Actually, McAfee21@hotmail.com, or my goodness. Or you can call the church here at First Baptist, and it's 918-423-0990. We'd love to hear from you. We look forward to going to camp next week for senior high. That'll be July 1st through the 8th. Through the 6th. And then the junior high week is going to be July 8th through the 12th. We look forward to that, and hope you guys have a blessed day.